Welcome to episode 2 of our PyTorch series. In episode 1, we learned about tensors, the data structure that powers AI. Today, we are diving into the secret sauce that makes AI learn, automatic differentiation, or AutoGrad. This is the magic that lets neural networks improve themselves. By the end of this episode, you'll understand how AI learns from mistakes, how it figures out which direction to adjust its parameters, and how PyTorch does all this automatically. This is where AI becomes intelligent. Let's unlock the learning mechanism. Imagine you're a cricket batsman trying to improve your batting average. After each match, you analyze your performance. What worked? What didn't? You adjust your technique based on feedback. That's learning. AI does the same. After making predictions, it checks how wrong it was. Then it adjusts its internal parameters to do better next time. But here's the question, which direction should it adjust? By how much? That's where gradients come in. Let's set up our environment for exploring gradients. I'm importing Torch for tensors and computations. Also importing Matplotlib for visualizations. And NumPy for some numerical operations. Quick note, throughout this series, I say PyTorch. That's just PyTorch. It's easier for text-to-speech narration. PyTorch equals PyTorch. Setting the random seed ensures our results are reproducible. Every time you run this code, you'll get the same results. Think of hiking in the Himalayas. You're on a mountain slope. The gradient is the steepness and direction of that slope. If you want to go uphill, you walk in the direction of steepest ascent. If you want to go downhill, you walk in the direction of steepest descent. In math, a gradient tells you, if I change this input slightly, how much does the output change? And in which direction? For AI, the gradient tells us, if I change this parameter, how much does my error change? Let's compute our first gradient. I'll show you how PyTorch tracks computations automatically. I'm creating a tensor X with value 3.0. The key is, I set requires _grad equals true. This tells PyTorch, track all operations on this tensor. Now I'll compute y equals x squared. PyTorch records this operation. It knows, y depends on x through squaring. To get the gradient, I call y.backward. This computes dy over dx. The derivative of x squared is 2x. At x equals 3, that's 2 times 3 equals 6. And look, x.grad gives us 6. PyTorch computed the gradient automatically. We didn't write any derivative formulas. PyTorch figured it out. Let's try something more complex. Multiple variables, multiple operations. PyTorch handles it all. I'm creating two tensors, A equals 2 and B equals 3. Both need gradients tracked. Now I'll compute a complex function, z equals a squared times b plus a times b squared. This involves multiplication, addition, and squaring. When I call z.backward, PyTorch computes both dz over da and dz over db. The partial derivatives. Look at the gradients. dz over da is 21. dz over db is 16. These tell us, if we change a slightly, z changes by about 21 times that amount. If we change b, z changes by about 16 times that amount. PyTorch handled all the calculus automatically. Chain rule, product rule, everything. How does PyTorch know how to compute gradients? It builds a computation graph. Every operation creates a node. Every tensor creates a node. The graph tracks how tensors flow through operations. Then, during backward pass, it uses the chain rule to compute gradients. Now, let's use gradients for learning. Gradient descent is the fundamental algorithm that trains neural networks. The idea: move in the direction that reduces error. Let me create a simple learning problem. I have some data, x values and corresponding y values. I want to find the best weight that fits this data using y equals weight times x. I'll start with a random guess for the weight. Then I use gradient descent to improve it. Here's the algorithm. First, make predictions using current weight. Second, compute the error. Third, calculate the gradient of error with respect to weight. Fourth, update weight in the direction that reduces error. Watch what happens. The error starts high in the first iteration. As we keep updating the weight, the error falls. First quickly, then more slowly as we approach the optimal value. The weight adjusts itself to minimize the error. With this small number of iterations, you'll see error drop significantly, but you could increase iterations to converge even closer to the minimum. By the final iteration, the error is much smaller than when we started. The weight has moved toward a value that fits the data well. This is exactly how neural networks learn. Just with millions of parameters instead of one. Let's visualize what just happened. I'll plot how the error decreased and how the weight changed over iterations. Look at these curves. The error plot shows a steep drop at first. Then it flattens out as we get close to the minimum. This is typical gradient descent behavior. The weight plot shows steady adjustment. It started low and climbed toward the optimal value. The steps get smaller as the gradient gets smaller near the minimum. This visualization shows learning in action. The algorithm found the best parameter automatically. No human told it what the answer should be. It figured it out from data and gradients. So far we used single numbers. But neural networks have millions of parameters. Let me show you gradients with vectors. I'm creating a vector of weights with 3 values. All need gradient tracking. Now I'll compute a function that uses all 3 weights. Some addition, some multiplication, some squaring. A typical neural network operation. When I call backward, PyTorch computes the gradient for each weight. Look. 3 different gradient values. Each tells us how that specific weight affects the output. This is exactly what happens in neural networks. Thousands or millions of parameters, all getting their gradients computed simultaneously. PyTorch makes it effortless. Let's build something more realistic. Predicting Bollywood movie ratings based on features. This demonstrates multi-feature gradient descent. I'm creating a movie rating predictor. 3 features: number of positive reviews, budget in crores, and star power rating. Important note, in real machine learning, we normalize features so they're on similar scales. This makes the weights easier to interpret and training more stable. Here, reviews are in hundreds, budget in tens, and star power is 0 to 10. In production, we'd normalize these first. I'll initialize 3 weights, 1 for each feature. Then use gradient descent to learn the best weights. What's the learning? The model adjusts all three weights simultaneously. Each weight learns how important its feature is for predicting ratings. With 500 epochs, we'll see meaningful convergence. After training, we can see which features matter most. Here's a critical pitfall. Gradients accumulate by default in PyTorch. If you don't zero them, they add up. Let me show you why this matters. Watch what happens. I create a tensor x for each backward call. I recompute y equals x squared. First backward, gradient is 6. Correct. But if I call backward again without zeroing, the gradient accumulates. Second call, gradient becomes 12. Third call, 18. This is why we always call grad.0_ after each training step. Without it, gradients pile up and your training goes wrong. Very common beginner mistake. Let me show the correct way. Zero the gradient, recompute, then backward. Now it's 6 again. Perfect. Sometimes you want to use a value without tracking gradients. Maybe for logging or evaluation. That's where detach comes in. I'll compute y equals x squared as before. But now I'll detach y before using it further. Look at the grad_fn attribute. Before detach, y knows it came from a power operation. After detach, it's none. The connection is broken. If I use the detached value in further computations, those operations won't be tracked. Useful when you want to compute something without affecting gradients. Common use cases: computing metrics during training, implementing certain advanced techniques, or just preventing memory buildup from unused graph nodes. Another way to disable gradient tracking is torch.no_grad. This is a context manager. Everything inside doesn't track gradients. Inside the with torch.no_grad block, operations don't build computation graphs. This saves memory and speeds things up. This is essential during evaluation. When testing your model, you don't need gradients. Wrapping evaluation code in no_grad makes it faster and uses less memory. Also useful when updating parameters manually in gradient descent. We saw this earlier. We don't want the update step itself to be tracked. Congratulations! You now understand the magic behind AI learning. Let's recap this powerful episode. We learned what gradients are, the slope that tells us which direction to adjust. We saw how PyTorch automatically computes gradients through AutoGrad. No manual calculus needed. We explored the computation graph, how PyTorch tracks operations during forward pass, then traverses backward computing gradients via chain rule. All automatic. We implemented gradient descent from scratch, the fundamental algorithm that trains all neural networks. We saw it work on simple and complex examples. We learned critical practices: always zero gradients between iterations. Use no_grad during evaluation. Detach when you need values without tracking. In episode 3, we'll use everything we learned to build our first complete neural network. We'll use torch.nn, define layers, and train a real model. The IPL match predictor awaits. You now understand how AI learns. Next, we build one. See you in episode 3.